Okay, everyone. So, hello, my name is Antonetta Mosley, and I am the Director of Development and Communications at Meals on Wheels Durham. We want to thank you for joining this quarterly Feed the Need update. This is new for us. So, typically, you receive the quarterly update via email, and we will still do that next week. However, we missed so many of you and really wanted to give everyone the opportunity to see your faces, to see the new faces. Some of you have not met Jason or Danielle yet, so really wanted to be able to have the time to do a meet and greet. I will go over some quick housekeeping rules that were sent this morning via email. So this meeting is being recorded. Don't worry for those who do not want to be seen. Only those speaking will be shown in the recording. So you can choose that feature. So just know if you do talk at some point, that part will be recorded. If you do not talk, you will not be seen. It won't be the gallery view. So no worries about that. Everyone is muted, and everyone who enters will automatically be muted. We will have time for Q&A at the end, and just to say hello, get to know a little more about you. I know we have some board members, we have some volunteers, we have donors, we have such a cross section. So definitely at the end, we will give everyone time to say who they are. And I know we have some long-time volunteers, and that is always really fun to know how long you have been volunteering. If you have any questions throughout the time, you can privately message me. So you can go to MOWD Antonetta, or if you don't mind your question being seen by everyone, you can go ahead and drop your question in the chat. So throughout the time, if you have a question, someone says something you'd love to know more about, go ahead and put it in the chat. And then at the end of the session, we will have that Q&A and answer all of the questions that have come up to the best of our ability. So I want to make sure if anyone has any questions at this time, if you can either put it in the chat or just raise your hand so that I know to get to you. All right. Awesome. It looks like everyone is good. So without further ado, we will start our quarterly Feed the Need live Zoom update. I am really excited to introduce Executive Director Jason Peace. So for those who have not had the opportunity to meet Jason yet, he started on April 1st. So unfortunately, April Fool's Day and the start of the pandemic. So Jason has done an amazing job stepping in. Obviously, we have never had to modify to this degree in our 45-year history. So just so thankful for Jason, for his leadership, for his patience in guiding us through this time. So excited for you guys to hear from everyone, because you will learn that since Jason has started, we've been delivering the most amount of meals in our history. So excited for you to meet him and for you to learn from the other directors and meet Danielle, our operations director, as well. So without further ado, Jason Peace, Executive Director of Meals on Wheels Durham.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Antonetta, for such a warm introduction. I truly appreciate it, but I obviously cannot take credit for everything that's been happening. I have a wonderful support team that has helped us navigate our way through this challenging time for not only us, but for everyone. So many of our support team, or some of them at least, you'll meet today. But I also would be remiss if I did not mention all the other teammates that have helped navigate us through this time. So I'd just like to take a moment just to acknowledge Pam Hester, our bookkeeper, Brittany Jennings, our operation assistant, Rachel Sauls, our AmeriCorps client associate, Bobby Ellis, development and communications intern, Yusef Shah, volunteer management and outreach intern, and our driver, Diamond King. All of those have played a crucial part in getting us helping us pivot and getting us to where we are now, delivering more meals in our history than we have at any other point in time. So thank you, not only to the directors, but to our rest of our support staff as well. Um, I just want to take a moment just to kind of introduce myself for those folks who may not know me. I am originally from Durham. I am a graduate of Durham Public School System, and I'm also a double graduate of UNC at Chapel Hill. So for me, there's really two things that are really important to me that I feel like that have developed and shaped who I am as a person. One of those things being athletics. Um, I think there's a tremendous amount of things that you can learn from playing sports and being part of a team. One being perseverance, the other being hard work and knowing that hard work isn't going to kill you. It may make you tired, but it's not going to kill you. And then the other thing from playing sports is being a good teammate, right? And I don't think anything is accomplished in a vacuum. I think everybody's success is interwoven and dependent on each other. And so from sports, that really gave me that lesson that I carry with me to this day. The other thing that I think that really shapes me is family. I was really close to my grandparents. My mother is obviously very special to me. And by the way, her birthday is on April 1st. So starting on April 1st during COVID has some significance all the way around. Um, but I mentioned my mother and my grandparents because as my grandparents got older, obviously they depended on us and the families to kind of help them get to where they needed get to where they needed to be and offer some supports to them that they were just no longer able to do for themselves. And so my mother was a big part of that. And so she was always caring for them, running from home to home, providing meals, making sure that, they were taken care of, making sure they were clothed, bathed, and so forth and so on. And so I saw her do that. My sister and I, we pitched in, we helped do that. Other family members were able to help do that as well. But I feel like that's very important because for me, that showed what needed to happen. But it also highlighted that doesn't happen for everybody, right? There's a lot of folks in our communities that do not have that support. And so that's where we step in and as Meals on Wheels and our organization and what we provide to those in the community. And I feel like that's truly, truly important. I feel like that's truly, truly significant and really means something. And so when I talk about family and when I talk about team and being good teammates, I'm not only talking about the Meals on Wheels employees, I'm talking about the volunteers. I'm talking about you guys. I'm talking about the support that you give us in helping us carry out our mission and making us a success and touching lives in our community on a daily basis. So since COVID has started, we've transitioned from delivering 5 hot meals a week to delivering a box of frozen meals that carries a week's worth of meals in them. And so during this time, we've been able to deliver over 80,000 meals to our clients. Again, like Antonetta said, that's the most that we've ever delivered in this period of time. And so as an extension of that, in order to make that possible, our volunteers have been crucial and critical in helping us to achieve that. And so I'm going to turn it over to Annette Reed, our Director of Community Outreach, who works hand in hand with our volunteers. And she can share a little bit more about what that entails. So Annette.
You are muted, Annette, and I'm also going to give a precursor for Annette. You may need to turn your volume up just a little, having a little technical difficulty, so you may need to turn up for this one section. All right, you're good to go, Annette.
Thank you, Antonetta. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jason, for that introduction. I see a lot of familiar faces on the call. Mama to everyone that I know. For those of you that I don't know, welcome to this quarterly update. And let me give you a little bit of background about myself. So I'm originally from upstate New York, moved to Durham about 18 years ago with a job. In that position, I spent 30 years with the same company and retired and took care of an elderly father who we relocated here from upstate New York because there wasn't a Meals on Wheels nearby to help do a safety check on my dad. He'd gotten to a point medically where he needed more care, and the best thing that we decided to do was bring him here. So, two things drove me to this position: having an elderly father. Once he passed away, I still had a need to help others. And then a lot of you have heard me say this about Confucius: finding a job that you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. That's what I found here at Meals on Wheels. Starting out as a volunteer, a couple hours a week, led to a 7 year, I'm going on 7 years with Meals on Wheels. Two things keep me here. One is our mission. The other thing is the staff that I work with. I call them my work family because we are close in the mission of helping others, particularly seniors in our community. Let me ground you with something that you can find on our website. It's about senior isolation and hunger. Even the most independent among us is, if fortunate to live long enough, may experience a decline in mobility or health that can strip away our independence and diminish the quality of our lives. Great advances in medicine have extended our average life expectancy to a record high of about 79 to 80 years. Living longer means more years spent in the struggles that accompany old age. Add to that the increase in geographic mobility of our families, and the result is millions of seniors left behind, hungry, and alone. And I think that's what grounds us in being a part of Meals on Wheels Durham. Um, I wanted to share with you some of the highlights around the volunteer piece with Meals on Wheels. In September alone, we have made 4,999 phone calls to clients. Our volunteer hours have totaled 348 hours. Now, that's inside the building and delivering. And as Jason said, we've had to make a pivot to how we're making that delivery happen. With your help as volunteers, we're able to do more than we've ever done before. I want to talk about one other impressive number. That's over the last 6 months that we've been in COVID. Volunteer hours, 2,188. That is phenomenal with a 1 day a week delivery. Phone calls, 25,550 phone calls to clients. Why are we making those calls? Because we had to pivot for COVID to that once a week delivery. Whereas pre-COVID, we were seeing our clients 5 days a week, laying eyes on them, making sure that they were doing fine, taking a look around at their surroundings, and seeing what other needs they might have that we can either provide ourselves or connect them with another community partner. That takes me to, with that transition from two volunteer opportunities, packing or delivering, to these new titles for volunteers. We have unloaders and loaders, just what that says. A truck pulls up at 8 in the morning on Monday, we unload 550 plus meals, and then we reload those meals into individual cars. Pre-COVID, drivers came in, got a cup of coffee, had some tea, told a joke or two, definitely went to the cookie jar. A lot of you on the call. Now they can't get out of their cars. It's a drive-through lane. It's a COVID-friendly drive-through. Get your meals loaded in by the loaders, and off you go. We have inside helpers. No longer packers, because we're not packing up the cold part of the meal. We're actually helping to expedite everything that's coming into the building. Not only food, pet food, mask, flyers about voting, flyers about taking the census. So those volunteers are inside helpers to pull all that together to get out the door. The calls are being made by wellness callers. A lot of our volunteers pre-COVID are not able to deliver. They may be in the high risk category or not feel comfortable going out in the community. Totally understood. But they have pitched in to help us call every single client every Wednesday morning and every Friday morning. Big help. Then I have to talk about these meal delivery drivers. We split our routes. We went from 30 some routes to now around 55 routes on Mondays. So that's double the volunteers. But they have been a lot of new volunteers stepping in to help out. And a lot of our regular volunteers are slowly coming back to help deliver these meals for us. So we really greatly appreciate it. I also want to talk a little bit about some of the special programs. So as community outreach, I'm responsible for making you aware of what else we do beyond a meal. Coming up in the fall, we start to plan for Veterans Day. We have 33 veterans right now on our roster that we are going to do something special for Veterans Day. We have Thanksgiving. So working with our partners for the Thanksgiving, we need some extra volunteers to help out on Thanksgiving Day. We typically have not delivered on Thanksgiving Day. A partner organization has stepped up to do that. This year, we're going to be responsible for helping deliver meals on Thanksgiving Day with that partner. Holiday is coming up. Believe it or not, if you've been in a store, if you ventured out in a store with your mask, you will see lots of decorations happening already. Well, we're getting prepared as well because we are committed to getting every client a gift for the holiday. So, what can you do to help? Be our ambassador. Be my arms out in the community by talking to people about our program. More volunteers, we need more drivers, we need lots of holiday gifts, so we would love to have you join us with that. I will leave you with this quote from Dehan Hollis. The heart of a volunteer is never measured in size, but by the depth of the commitment to make a difference in the lives of others. So thank you to everyone that's been helping us out. I appreciate it. Now I'll turn this over to Danielle.
Hey there. Well, it's just so neat to see everyone on for this call. I'm really excited for this opportunity to meet everyone. So I am the new director of operations. I've been with the organization for about 3 months now. Also a native New Yorker, been in North Carolina for 10 years and very proud to call this my home now. I have a background in social work and agriculture, as well as food security. And so I'm just very excited to be a part of the team here at Meals on Wheels in Durham, and also being a part of all of this new growth that we are experiencing. With that being said, for the month of September, we were able to serve 566 clients. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a tremendous amount of meals. And we have been able to accomplish that, like everyone has mentioned, through the help of our volunteers. Our volunteers have been amazing and they really have stepped up to the plate. I have never experienced an organization that has gone to such great lengths to help cater to their clients. And our volunteers are a really big piece of that. And we've been able to get really creative with ways for social distancing and contactless deliveries, as well as the wellness calls. It's been a really big change moving from hot meals to frozen meals. And we continue to work with our vendor to provide the highest quality meals to our clients that taste good. So with that, let's see, we've been able to enroll a lot of clients, and that has largely been in part to an influx of temporary COVID funding. So we have been working very hard with the Department of Social Services to aggressively address the waiting list. And these are individuals who, some of them have been waiting for over a year to receive meal delivery services. And the temporary funding that we've been able to receive through COVID has allowed us to serve those individuals in our community and almost act as a bridge to get those individuals onto more permanent streams of funding so that they can continue to receive meals once the COVID funding is complete. So that has been a really big project that we have been working on with the Department of Health and Social Services. I have some notes. As Annette said, we are gearing up for our holiday programs. We are partnering with Durham Rescue Mission to prepare a hot meal for our clients on Thanksgiving. They have been gracious enough to prepare the meal for us, but we are still in need of volunteer drivers for Thanksgiving Day. So if y'all are willing, or if you know anyone who would like to participate in that, we'd really appreciate it. We're also partnering with Judea Reform for our Christmas hot meal, and they are helping us to raise funds to make that meal possible. Again, we're always looking for folks to help with deliveries. And then also we are doing our holiday gift giving program, which I think is pretty exciting. We're looking for folks who are interested in either purchasing a gift for an individual client or adopting a route. And then those gifts will be delivered to our clients throughout the month of December. We're also looking for volunteers to help us wrap up those gifts. And yeah, and I think I'm complete. So I'll pass it on to Antonetta. Thank you so much. I really am very excited to be a part of the team. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle. And I am big on celebrating people. So if we can all just take a moment and wish Danielle a happy birthday, if we can all clap, happy birthday, happy birthday. All right. I know I didn't tell her I was doing that, so I know she's going to get me but yes, everyone, for those who may not have been on in the beginning, my name is Antonetta Mosley. I am the Director of Development and Communications at Meals on Wheels Durham. So I would love to give you some development and communications highlights. I'm going to talk to you about our COVID-19 Relief Fund, as well as what have some of those funds been used for. I'm going to share some of those awesome numbers that people have shared already, and also let you know how can you stay up to date on how we're doing each month. I'm also going to personally thank some of our major funders of our COVID-19 Relief Fund, and then at the end, just tell you more about how you can support us. So our COVID-19 Relief Fund, since April, we have raised over $280,000, which, like the other numbers for us, is unprecedented to raise that amount of money in 6 months. So I just want to continue to reiterate the thank you. So many of you are donors, volunteers, board members, supporters, social media sharers, and all of that is so important. So what I love about Meals on Wheels Durham is whether you have $1 or $1 million, you are an integral part of our organization and can have a significant impact. So I told you about $280,000 has been raised. Over 30,000 of that is from individuals, and then another amount is from foundations, businesses, and local supporters. So I am going to read you off this list. I want to thank Duke Durham, Durham County, Meals on Wheels America, the Biogen Foundation, Coastal Credit Union Foundation, the Stewards Fund, the Emergency Food and Shelter Fund, United Way of the Greater Triangle, Blue Cross Blue Shield North Carolina, Westminster Presbyterian Church, the Insurance Pros, and Whole Foods Durham. So just want to take the time to shout out those 12 organizations, businesses, and foundations who have had a major impact on allowing us to continue delivering quality meals while expanding. So as Danielle said, we are able to serve clients on our current wait list, which has over 400 individuals on it. So what's so awesome is we are currently serving about 100 of those clients thanks to temporary support. So when people ask how we're doing, we are doing really well, but obviously, especially in a pandemic, we wish that we did not have a wait list. So our ultimate goal and vision at Meals on Wheels Durham is that when a senior comes to us or someone who needs our help and is food insecure in Durham County, that we could get them enrolled within 2 weeks. Obviously, we are not there yet, but we are going to continue striving towards that vision. And thank you all for your support. What are those funds used for? Sounds like a lot of money. But as Danielle said, we have scaled up tremendously. So the majority of those funds are going to our costs that have increased. So there's an increase from going to hot meals to frozen meal delivery. We've also had more clients than ever who have needed weekend meals. And so we were able to provide weekend meals for all of our clients for a certain period, again, through temporary funding. And we still have about 100 individuals who receive weekend meals every week. In the past, we were able to have people make sandwiches and come in. Obviously now we cannot have people make sandwiches that are then delivered to the clients. So that is another increased cost from transitioning to sandwiches and other meal items to, again, those frozen meal deliveries. So really important to know that while a lot of our clients receive 5 meals a week, we have a portion who receives 7 meals a week. And so just something more to know that our weekend meal program is still going, and that is thanks to increased funding. We have continued our pet program, so we are still feeding dogs and cats weekly as well. So really amazing that throughout the pandemic, we have used funding to shift, to get creative. The team has done an amazing job, but obviously due to the increased costs, the increased wait list, and increased need from our previous clients, we are going to continuously need help as the pandemic unfortunately continues. So how can you help? How can you spread the word? Well, social media, follow us on social media at mowdurham.org. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we are also starting to post more on YouTube. So that's one great way you can continue to support us, especially during this holiday giving period. Danielle and Annette shared a lot of those awesome activities. And so to get gifts to 550 clients, that means we need 550 gift donations. So obviously we do not use our funding for that. Our goal is to not use funding for that. So we do depend on community help. You'll receive an email next week if you would like to sponsor a route. So you can sponsor a whole route of people for $400 or sponsor half a route for $200. So looking for people to sponsor, we will shout you out on our social media and in our next annual report. If you decide you would like to sponsor, you can reach out to Danielle at mowdurham.org. If you would like to volunteer for some of those opportunities that Annette discussed, you can email her at annette@mowdurham.org. And all of that, I'm sorry, yes, I said it right. And all of that is on our website. So if you did not write it down, you can go to mowdurham.org. I will put that link in the chat at the end so that you can join us. So we are just so excited to have you here with us today for our first live update. We appreciate you coming. And so for this next portion, we are going to go into a Q&A session. So this is the time where you can chat to either everyone or me directly. If you don't want people to know it was your question, chat to me directly and we are going to answer questions. So I am going to start with some questions that were submitted through the registration form. All right, so I have one that is, When will weekday meals restart? Do we know when that's happening? So I will pass that off, and then we will keep going along, but please send me or put any questions that you have in the chat.
Well, since I saw Danielle kind of motion, I'm assuming she was talking to me. So when we will go back to meals, right now for the foreseeable future, we will remain doing our 1 week, one delivery a week of frozen meals. We want to follow the lead of our health professionals and our government officials who've been elected and put in those positions to give us guidance as how to best proceed during these times. Our main focus right now is we want to make sure that we keep everyone as safe as possible. So when we look at our volunteer base and we look at our client base, many of those individuals fall in the most vulnerable categories as it relates to COVID and some of the ramifications from that. So we want to make sure that we're taking as many precautions as we can to ensure everyone's safety to the best of our ability. So right now, in short, we will continue to do frozen box deliveries for the foreseeable future until we get a different set of guidance.
Thank you, Jason. I have a question for Annette. So I think this is from one of our wellness callers. They are interested in knowing how the lists are compiled each week.
Okay, thank you for that question. The wellness call list of clients is refreshed every Monday for the Wednesday and Friday calls. So with the changes that happen, clients coming on board, new clients, or clients not wanting meals or not wanting calls, because calling them is optional. If the client calls us and says, I don't want any more calls, wellness calls, I'm fine, or I live with my daughter now, so I don't need to have the wellness checks, then we take them off the list. So it's refreshed on a weekly basis. Does that answer the question?
It does. Thank you so much, Annette. And yeah, go ahead, Danielle.
I'd also like to add that even though when some clients have asked to put their meals on hold, that they still request a phone call, and we're very happy to do that because we really do support that social interaction and connection with our clients.
Awesome, thank you. And so some of the other questions have been answered, which was asking about delivering in December, soliciting donations for holiday gifts. So of course, we learned a little more information about that. For those who received the weekly tidbits, we sent information about that yesterday, and everyone who receives our quarterly updates will receive even more information about that next week. All right, so we have a person who wanted to check in to see if their husband could volunteer on Thanksgiving as well. Yes, they can. So as Annette and Danielle said, we are looking for more people. I think we need approximately 40. So yes, the more, the merrier. We would definitely love that help. All right. Let me make sure I have answered. We have gone through these. Oh, so we have a volunteer who wants to know how they can get more involved. And this volunteer is actually on the call. So hopefully your question was answered about how you can get more involved. But if not, if you want to go ahead and come off mute and talk to us and explain more about what you're looking for, that would be great. All right, all right, they said they got what they needed. Perfect. So yes, continue to stay in touch with us. Something that was not mentioned is also cards. So we have a lot of other organizations that will write messages to our seniors throughout the year. So if you ever have a group of people, whether it's at your workplace or otherwise, who would like to send some cheer to seniors during this season, we do ask that any cards are holiday cards and not specific to a certain holiday. However, would love to send that cheer and get you involved. The holiday gift program is also a great opportunity for corporations to get involved as a team and still do something nice remotely. So you could even do a Zoom gift wrapping party where everyone has their gifts and you wrap together. There's a lot of unique things. And you could also do a food drive for certain items. We're always looking for Ensure and other donations for our clients who need that. So want to make sure, does anyone have any other questions at this time? You can put it in the chat or just raise your hand. I'm going to make sure I scroll through so I don't miss anyone. All right, so if not, I would love to take the last few. Oh, Sue, all right, I see you, Sue. Go ahead, you can come off mute if you don't mind being on video.
I just wonder who I talked to about getting a little bit of tech help with using the iPad for Wednesday calls, for recording the Wednesday calls. I do fine when I can have this, the regular laptop, but sometimes my husband needs that. And when I'm working with the iPad, those drop downs just disappear before my finger gets to them. And so I bet there's somebody that knows something I don't know. So if I could be referred to whoever the techie person is.
So I see Brittany is smiling, but she's not coming off mute. So she is our in-house IT guru and has been able to walk others through that same issue, Sue. So we will have Brittany get in touch with you before your next calls and help you walk through that on your iPad. Brittany, do you want to give her a tip in regards to the download?
Yeah, what we've told everybody so far is if you actually download Google Drive, which is the way we send out the wellness call, that's the best way of getting it where you can see the drop downs. You don't have to have a Google account, but if you download the Drive and just click the link that way, the drop downs will add itself in.
Well, I think I do that. Is that the green pages, the little green page?
Sheets. Yeah.
Yeah, sheets. Yes.
What
So-
I'll do is I could give you a call and we could just walk through it together. Or if you want to, we can Zoom one day and we can just walk through. You have your tablet in front of you. I'll bring my tablet. We can walk through it together and we can get it working for you.
Okay, that would be good because I took your tutorial. I came like a good girl and did it. And still, like I said, I can do it on that laptop, but man, my iPad just drives me crazy. Okay, let's do that. I think, where do I call? I'll get your information off the site and get. Thanks, Britt.
No problem.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sue. And so I would love, Sue is a longtime volunteer, so I would love to take the time to just ask some people how you're involved with Meals on Wheels Durham. I am actually going to start with our awesome board chair, Moses Carey, who is a longtime volunteer and is now our board chair. So we're so grateful to have him. He has so much experience in the Triangle area. So Moses, if you will tell us how long you have volunteered and if there's anything you'd like to say to the group, please do so.
Well, I'm happy to be a part of this event. And I've been a volunteer several years, but I've been president a few months less than Jason has been on board. So so this role of president is new to me, but I've enjoyed it. And let me say that I want to commend the staff for organizing this event and for the job you have been doing for the last 6 to 8 months, not only flying the plane, but working on the engine at the same time. And that's hard to do, but it's something that you have adapted to very well. And we're flourishing as a program as a result of your efforts. So I want to commend you for the job that you're doing. And I also want to commend the volunteers who are on the call and those who are not, because volunteers are the lifeblood of our organization. but for the role that the volunteers play, we couldn't do what we do as a team. So I want to commend not only the staff, but the volunteers, because you've done a yeoman's job adapting to this new environment that we are in. And we're not sure when this environment that we're in is going to change. So we have to continue to adapt as we go along over the next year or so. But it's been a commendable job, and I want to commend all of you for the job that you're doing. And I also, I've been a volunteer for several years. I've been a driver, I've been a packer, and in this last week, I volunteered to do some of the wellness calls, and I have really enjoyed doing those wellness calls. I did my first ones yesterday afternoon, thanks to Annette prompting me on how to get started. And but the application that's being used is very useful, and it's helpful to help keep track of what our conversations are with the clients that we serve. And I want to commend you for using that. I really enjoyed not only talking with some of the people that I've delivered meals to in the past, but also just talking with them and trying to get updated. And they all felt very thankful for the calls that I made yesterday, and I enjoyed them very much. So again, thank you for organizing this quarterly event. I think it can be very informative, not only to the public, but to our volunteers and to those who want more information about what Meals on Wheels is doing and how it's doing it. And I'm of the opinion that you are what you eat. And if you are what you eat, that's probably the most important thing in your life. And what you eat is also helpful to your health, both physical and mental health. So there's nothing more important than trying to support food security in this environment that we're in. So again, thank you all for what you're doing, and I trust that you will continue to strive and thrive and serve our clients and our community well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Moses. And there's a lot of people on mute, but if you were able to chat, if you can just chat, if you're a volunteer, how long you've been volunteering with Meals on Wheels Durham, that would be awesome. So you can just go to the chat, make sure it says to everyone, and just type in the number of years you've been volunteering. That would be great. I don't want to call people out whose video I can't see because they may not be ready to talk. But if you don't mind chatting how long you've been volunteering, that would be awesome. So I know, Sue's been volunteering. I see Marcus on the call. Awesome. He's been with us 5 years. Sue, 18. That's awesome. I know Betty and Deborah, I think, are also volunteers. So if you'll let us know how long, and we are going to go ahead and do our closing, but you can feel free to stay on after if you want to say hi. So without further ado, Executive Director Jason Peace.
Thank you. So first, let me just again thank everybody for participating in this call. It's really great to see everyone, and it's really great to have the opportunity to share with you guys what's actually happening with Meals on Wheels Durham. There are a couple of takeaways for me. So, this organization was started 44, 45 years ago, and I don't think that anybody had the idea or had the forethought to see that we would be serving this many people during this time, right? So it just goes to show what hard work and determination will do when folks put their minds and their efforts and their energies together. And so for me, one of the biggest takeaways is teamwork. So everybody on this call, whether it's an employee, whether it's a volunteer, board member, what have you, you're a teammate, you're a family member of the Meals on Wheels Durham community and organization. And without every single one of you guys, we would not be able to make the impact that we've been able to make over these last 45 years. So I just want everybody to kind of take away and understand that this is everyone's organization to make an impact in the Durham community. So when we talk about what we can do, whether we're a donor, whether we're a volunteer, no matter what position we serve in this family, on this team, one of my asks for you will be is to recruit somebody, right? So you may not have another dollar to give. You may not even have another hour or 5 minutes to give in terms of volunteering because of just life circumstances, and that's okay. But what I would ask is, can you recruit someone else that may be able to give 5-10 minutes of their time, or may be able to give financially, so we can continue to support the clients in this community that need our help? Because one thing that I think COVID has shown and proved is that we have the right people in place to take this organization further. We have the right people in place, whether it's employees, whether it's volunteers, whether it's donors, to grow and be able to have an even bigger impact than we have right now. So I just want, that would be my ask, that would be my takeaway, is how else can we help? Who can we recruit to join our family to grow this organization that we all care so much about? So with that being said, again, thank you so very much for taking the time to spend with us today. I hope you guys have been able to walk away with some information that maybe you might not have known, or you just like to hear again. So I thank you for your support for this organization, and I look forward to continued success and continued partnership with all you guys. Thank you very much.